Just coming with a quick message that's on the mind that I wanted to share with you. Well, really, it's a reminder that we are in a retrograde period. This retrograde, this Mercury retrograde, is not, the Mercury goes back direct on the 29th. However, I like to remind people that there's a shadow that I tend to just personally, if there's anything I'm waiting to do until retrograde is done, or if some things I'm putting plans in place, I kind of keep a pause before I move forward with new things. I don't do it until 2 weeks after Mercury goes direct, or after the planet goes direct. With that being said, keep in mind that um, the plant is not just Mercury that goes retrograde. You could be in the midst of a Venus retrograde, a Saturn retrograde, and so you can take advantage of all the different retrogrades um, with their specific, areas that impact your life. And so with Mercury, it's peace, peace. With Mercury, it's communication, transportation. It impacts plans, things that you organization. It impacts finances. It impacts, and these things, relationships. It impacts everything in the sense of when it comes to the communication and movement of those things. So the growth of those things or the release of those things will be impacted. So, say when it comes to relationships, you may find yourself in, focusing on communication and trying to communicate something, or whether that's something you're trying to reconcile or something you're trying to develop. This may come up in relationships during this time. If it comes to your finances, this may be a time where your finances are not moving, or they are moving in certain directions that you want to pay attention to. Maybe they're growing, maybe they're decreasing, but these type of things happen in Mercury retrograde. Um, and so I suggest that you study the planet that's in retrograde, and then notice the areas of life that it may impact, and then use the medicine. So retrogrades are medicine. What's the medicine? Well, during retrogrades, it's a great time to reflect, to renew, to rejuvenate, to rekindle, I think I said reconcile. So it's an excellent time for reflection, and it really makes it a great. It gives great energy for you to see things that maybe you haven't seen, make certain moves that you haven't made when it comes to certain things around that area of your life. Long as those movements or those things are not for something new, this is something that you are revisiting. Okay, so this is time of medicine. Great, great, great time for reflection. It's just the insight is just so much deeper during retrogrades, and specifically in those areas that planet reflect. So that's the reminder. Utilize retrograde in a intentional way. I noticed that a lot of times we resist retrograde because maybe we know that it's going to put a pause on some things. Maybe you're making some moves that you really wanted to get done, but now it's a retrograde and it's like, I don't need to do that. Um, Let us be patient. A scripture came up in the Sunday fellowship yesterday. It says, "They that wait on the Lord, they shall renew their strength." So wait on the divine timing, and be patient. Sometimes we feel anxious to do things, but if it's cosmically aligned or divinely aligned for you to wait, just know it's going to be better for you to wait. Okay, whatever you think you're going to miss, or whatever you think is not going to happen because you're waiting, trust me, it will happen exceedingly abundantly above all you can think or ask. So wait. Now, if there's a case where you are in the middle of something that, like, it just can't wait, here's the thing: be patient with yourself, be patient with the person, be patient with the situation. Patience, patience, patience. And also be expecting. Expect that after the retrograde, things are going to move forward. Things are going to work out. Like, just expect that. So be patient, and take that time to lean into gratitude, to lean into stillness, because stillness definitely is going to help you to be able to see what you are supposed to see. And to that point, I'll say, if you find yourself in a situation, whether in retrogrades or not, if you find yourself in situations in life where you're being sat down or you're being made to be still with something, pay attention. Something is trying to be shown to you. Don't be in your own ego and like, oh man, this thing is not moving forward. Oh, let it need to move forward. No, pay attention and be prayerful, so that you can see what's trying to be shown. Peace, peace. Thank you for your greetings. This is a live video, by the way, for those who watch it as a replay. It's on my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, do so. You'll catch me live, and you'll also catch a lot of the replays of the things that I do for the Sunday Fellowship and also for the memberships. Sometimes I'll make those videos public instead of unlisted, how they usually are. I think my last point, something came up in the Sunday Fellowship talk yesterday, um, that I wanted to say here, and that is maybe, consider utilizing, planning to use retrograde periods in an intentional way. So I was saying yesterday, listen, we get these retrogrades a few times a year. It is medicine. It's like a cosmic, it's a cosmic gift for us to take advantage of. Like I said, it's a beautiful time to reflect because you get some deeper insights. Things are much clearer. So you plan around those times. You can easily look up when are the retrogrades. You can easily look them up. You can easily see when all of them are. Many people know when the Mercury goes in retrograde because it's very common. Mercury definitely is like the area of life that impacts us the greatly. I won't say the greatest, but I'll say greatly. And that is communication, transportation, information. And so, of course, with us being especially a digital world, and in an age of intelligence, of course, Mercury retrogrades impact us quite a bit. But listen, Venus retrogrades impact us greatly. It highlights our relationships, our love languages, our abilities to collaborate. So it's a great time. Venus retrogrades are a great time to reflect and revisit business partnerships, your own personal partnerships, those type of things. So, you know, definitely plan around them. So, retrogrades are a great time for retreats. So, plan your retreats, your healing retreats, or even your planning retreats around retrograde periods, because what that'll do is you're planning to retreat, you're planning to be still, you're planning to sit, and you will notice that the retrogrades happen in seasons that are naturally retreat times. And so if you plan it and say you run a business, you know, and you have a team, you generally plan your team meetings or your team retreats for your planning around the fiscal year. Plan it around a retrograde time. So now, because you already know you're going to be doing a whole lot of planning and retreating and all of those different things, you won't be doing anything that will be out of alignment for retrogrades, right? So it'll kind of pause you so you won't find yourself out of alignment with the retrograde. So maybe plan your retreats, plan your family gatherings around that time, plan to fast and, do your fasting around those periods, taking those periods to just cleanse the body, release the things that no longer serve you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Just plan around it, right? And so it doesn't have to take travel, because I wouldn't suggest that you plan a $1,500 retreat. No, I mean, just like simple retreat. Just plan to go up in the cabins, or just staycation at home. Make it where you situate your environment like a retreat space, and you sit and retreat, and you do your reflections, and you do those reflections around what you are specifically dealing with at that time. And so I was definitely suggesting that. I think that's an excellent idea. Just so we won't find ourselves caught up in the collective consciousness of, oh God, here comes a retrograde, and you miss the medicine, right? We don't want to miss the medicine that has been given to us in a divine way. and it's always there. That's just the reality of God, the reality of life, is that God is going to give us everything that we need. Creation, the creator, has everything that it needs in order to not only survive but thrive. But we have to pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So that is a beautiful way to pay attention to the retrogrades, to become one with them and to honor them, and not find yourself caught up in being blasphemous to what we naturally have. Everything that is in divine order is in order. So stay in order and you won't feel no type of way. And again, even if you do, if things go awry, things start to happen how you don't expect them to happen, be easy, because like I said, things work out exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever think or ask, right? Imagine or ask. All right, so enjoy the rest of your retrograde. Like I said, it ends on the 29th, and there's a shadow. Let's just say shadow is about 2 weeks. I like to wait 2 weeks before I start any kind of major movements, once the retrograde is done. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned to the newsletter. I did put the link to the full newsletter in the description below this video. So pay attention to the service special. I do a service special every month. I pray that you're able to take advantage of it. Also, check out the new app. I'm so excited about that. OU Well House. I have several memberships that you may be interested in. A lot of people are choosing all access, so I'm happy about that. But I'm sure if you're tuned in to this video or this newsletter or in any way, shape, form with Oyun, there's something on the app that you would benefit from. And surely I'm excited and um, enjoying the process of loading the app with content that I feel that can be beneficial to your life. All right. Peace and love, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.